So, Liverpool went from winning the Premier League comfortably to struggling to qualify for the Champions League just 1 year later. They've gone from one of the most feared teams in Europe to a side that struggles to control games. Just 1 year ago, they were chasing a quadruple. Now, they are slow, predictable, and falling apart. So what exactly went wrong? In Liverpool's final season under Jurgen Klopp, they finished third, but that doesn't tell the full story. They spent 113 days in first position. They were in contention for a quadruple. They ended up winning just the Carabao Cup, falling apart between March and April. But this was still one of the most feared teams in Europe. Klopp's heavy metal football meant relentless pressing, fast transitions, and suffocating opponents even if they lost the ball. That identity made them elites. Then came Arne Slot. He started well, winning 8 of his first 10 games, but there was a subtle shift. Instead of chaos and intensity, Slot wanted control, more passes, slower tempo, less risk. Basically, don't overwhelm the opponents, outplay them, and there comes his famous line, kill them with passes. Here's the problem, the squad wasn't built for that, it was built for speed. Players like Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, and Diogo Jota thrived in chaos, not control, and the stats proved it. Box entries dropped, overall attacking threats dropped. A fast team was now being forced to play slow. It was still enough to win the league, as they had wrapped that up early, thanks to Mo Salah's heroics, 29 goals and 18 assists. But Champions League exits to PSG, losing the EFL final to Newcastle, and getting knocked out of the FA Cup by Plymouth Argyle, a championship relegated team. This marked a notable downturn in form that had persisted through the season. In the beginning of the 25-26 season, Liverpool spent €482 million. They even broke the British transfer record twice, but somehow they ignored their biggest weakness, central defense. The move for McGahey failed, and they never replaced that gap. So now you have a stacked attack and a weak defense, and a completely unbalanced team. At the beginning of the transfer window, Liverpool lost Trent Alexander-Arnold and Luis Diaz, also Darwin Núñez, and that changed everything. Trent gave them creativity from deep, which meant they could have workhorses in the middle while he created. Diaz gave them pressing and energy from the front, and without them, build-up slowed down, the press became weaker, and attack became predictable. At first, the results masked the problem. Liverpool went on a 7-game win streak, but nearly every game needed a last-minute winner. Then reality hits, heavy defeats, loss of control, defensive errors, recording 3 wins and 9 losses in a 12-game period. They even conceded 7 goals at Anfield in back-to-back games, losing 3-0 to City at the Etihad, losing 3-0 to Nottingham Forest at Anfield, and losing 4-1 to PSV in the Champions League. That is something no Liverpool fan expected. Then came throwing Salah under the bus. Salah was benched versus West Ham as if he was the problem, as if he was the issue that Liverpool were trying to solve. They won the game. He came on later, but they won the game. Then he was benched for the Sunderland game. Came on in the 45th minute. They drew the match. They drew the match, and they only drew that match because of Chiesa going to cover up at the back. Then the next game versus Leeds, they drew 3-3. And Salah did not even start. After the game, he went to the mix zone, spoke to journalists, put his future under concern, his future under question, because he felt it and we felt it that he was being scapegoated. When your best player becomes a problem, that says everything. From the West Ham game where he was first benched, Liverpool went on a 13-game unbeaten run. I know that sounds good though. It doesn't. It is not good. Because they got just 12 points from those 12 points in the league from those 13 games. That is not consistency. That is stagnation. Then there's the strange case of Slot and Cody Gakpo. He kept starting Cody Gakpo despite a drop in form, despite no matter what Cody Gakpo did, he could never be benched. His play style is predictable. Cut inside, shoots, repeats. And when you pair that with his partnership with Milos Kerkez, Kerkez, who is an overlapping fullback who thrives on early passes, but Gakpo doesn't release the pass. So when Kerkez goes forward, waits to receive the ball, he gets stranded there. If Gakpo loses that ball, the defense is wide open. And this made Kerkez very hesitant to now go forward, picking out his best attributes, weakening the team as a result. Compare this. When Gakpo and Kerkez played together, which they've played together for 17 games, past those 5 wins, which kind of mask how bad Liverpool has been. Apart from those 5 wins at the beginning of the season, from the Crystal Palace game not till now, Gakpo and Kerkez have played together as a pair 17 times, and Liverpool have won 29% of those games. Verds and Kerkez, on the other hand, have played 7 times, and Liverpool have won 4 of those games. The same players, different chemistry, very huge difference. Then we have Dominic Szoboszlai. He's been used everywhere, in right back, in midfield, on the wings. Why? Because of injuries to Frimpong, Gomez, and Bradley. And this is your best performing player, but he cannot play in his best position. He can't play in the attacking midfield where he would be effective in the press. Rion Gomoha is a 17-year-old wonder kid that has barely been given time to start because of Slots keeping Gakpo on. Chiesa has worked for sleeve minutes and has gotten almost nothing. Hugo Ekitike was having to deputize for Isak despite being the better performer. So, what's the real issue? It's simple to me. It's Arne Slot's system. It doesn't fit this team. This squad was built for speed and chaos, and is being forced into control and ponderous passing. And in the process, they've lost their identity. Look at this. Liverpool have lost in running starts, have lost almost all the teams this season. They have been outrun almost every single time, save to Spurs under Thomas Frank and to Burnley in game week 4. They have, and in that same period, they are the team who walk the most in their matches. So here's the big question: do Liverpool stick with Slot and risk not getting Champions League football this season? Because if you look at the form table, it doesn't seem like they will, and it is a real concern. Or do they change their manager? Because someone like Alonso fix this instantly, or will it take time? Let me know what you think, and thank you for being here.